Chance with Magmador, shot up, and that's good.
Just like that, Wilson from 3 trains it. Garvin again, same on this time, she drains it. What a performance from the Lynx.
The always stunning Harbour City, Sydney, New South Wales. It'll be the host venue for the 2022 FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup in September. Tonight at Brydens Stadium, it's the home of the Sydney Flames. 0-3 to start the year. They haven't played a game in 29 days since round 4 when they lost to the Boomers by 6 points. And they're hosting the top of the table Adelaide Lightning, who themselves haven't played for 18 games. Round 5 it was when they beat the Perth Lynx by 2 points. So plenty to play for as the Sydney Flames looking for their first win of the year, and they're going to have to beat a team that has the stingiest defence in the competition. The Adelaide Lightning allowing just 67 points per game on average, and the Flames have had trouble scoring. They've only been able to put up on average 62 a year. A lot will ride on that young lady, Shyla Hill. Plenty to talk about. Let's get to our expert. Sam Hargraves here alongside the 3-time WNBL champion and former Rookie of the Year, now AFLW superstar Alison Downey. Looking forward to this one.
I am. You know, these are the exciting games, top team versus bottom team, but, you know, it's the unknown, and sometimes they can knock it off because the top can be a little bit complacent.
Let's have a look at this Sydney Flames outfit, and as unlucky as they've been not being able to play for 29 games, they've had no luck at all with their imports. Liana Odom couldn't even get out here from the US after she succumbed to injury, and Stephanie Watts, who was picked 10 in the 2021 draft, she's done her knee still with the side that has parted company with the 5th pick in the 2021 WNBA draft. That was Chelsea Dungy. They've replaced her with pick 10, pick 9 in that draft, and that's Renaya Davis, who was with the University of Tennessee and was taken by the Minnesota Lynx. So they haven't had much luck there. Hopefully they can get something happening tonight, and Shyla Hill coming off her second best ever, 29 points in that loss to the Boomers.
Yeah, I think it'll be a matter of getting that team to click as quickly as possible, bringing somebody new in. It's going to upset the apple cart a little bit, but hopefully Renaya can fit in quickly. You know, the game's a bit different to what would be over in the States, but if she can fit in and fill that void, then they're in good stead.
Shyla Hill, of course, was one of the 16 named to take on Serbia in next month's World Cup qualifiers. We'll talk about that squad, but let's have a look at this Adelaide Lightning and that duo. Number 7, number 11, Stephanie Talbot and Alana Smith, both named in that squad, and they've been a real handful for any team that the Lightning have come up against. 3-1 on the year, and that starting five's as good as any.
Yeah, you know, and we've said it before, this is a team that they know their role and they play their role really well, and now that Steph and Alana are really working well together, they're so difficult to guard, but then you can cover those two and then the rest step up. So really great team play that they're playing at the moment.
Alana Smith averaging 17.5 points per game, 5th in the competition. She's also putting up 8.3 rebounds and 2.8 assists. But Steph Talbot, who was last year's Defensive Player of the Year and MVP, the first player to ever do that, she's having a really good year as well. 5 less points per game, but 11.5 rebounds, so she's averaging a double-double, and 3rd in the comp for assists, 5.5. They've really slipped into a nice rhythm, the two of them.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think a lot of what Steph's doing these days is not so much on the stat sheet, but her experience and the way she plays the game and the way she brings other people into the game and her teammates to help them step up, then, you know, that's something that you just can't buy. And
the Lightning have only played the 4 games, but it's who they've beaten. The Boomers are a title fancy. The Lynx are a title fancy. They've beaten both of those in this last, along this 3-game winning streak, so they'll have no fears of anybody that they're coming up against.
No, as I said, they'll play their role. They know what they need to do. They know their game plan works. I think they trust the coach, and you can see that the trust that they have with player to player. So, you know, if you've got that, you can win a championship.
The Flames have been pretty good defensively. They're only allowing about 72 points per game, but as I said, they're only scoring about 62, so that's going to be an area of concern for Shane Hill. It's a young team, but they're going to need a little bit more buckets-wise.
Yeah, and, you know, that'll come the more they play, but, you know, I think they'll have hot weeks and then they'll have cold weeks.
Who wins and why?
I think Adelaide will top this one off just with the team game.
So it'll be Froling and Smith. Froling not named in the squad to play Serbia, but he's in the overall squad of players who will be in line for selection. And look at there's the combination automatically. Talbot, Smith tried to collaborate with Shook, who's had a good year, the American import. But Mansfield's going to come away with it for the Flames. Having a really good year herself. Mansfield 4th in the comp for assists per game, averaging 5.3. Purcell now back to Mansfield. And then she sets the screen, horseshoes around. Froling had it knocked away. Kiana Williams is always dangerous in the open court. Hesitation, step, drop back. No dice on the deuce. Still no score. They go back to Mansfield. Had Kiana Williams up in the air, now goes to Heel. 15 of her 29 points came in the last quarter in that game against the Boomers. Froling did all the hard work, just couldn't get the finish, and then denied emphatically by Alana Smith. Says you might have brought it in here once, but you won't do it a second time.
It's great defence there by Alana Smith. She just keeps her hands up. But you know, I think we're going to see Keely probably take it at them a little bit today. She might feel it a little bit that she wasn't named in that squad, and here to show what she can do.
Mansfield can't get the baseline jumper. Heel, tenacious. We've said that a few times. Father, now daughter. Heel for 3 to open their account. Just a little long, but offensive rebounds worth their weight in gold. This time, Rowe comes up with it. Mansfield, the scoop, and gets the kind bounce and the foul call. She'll go to the line. They're working really hard to try and set multiple screens when they've got possession at the moment, Alison.
Yeah, and they look like they're running an offense, so which is good to see, because sometimes when you haven't played for a little while, you can be a little bit stagnant and not really run your offenses. But you know, they've probably been training most of the time other than Christmas. So it's good to see. It's always hard to guard.
That's something we've never seen. Shane Heel just having a conversation with the refs. I would never have thought.
It looks like a pretty civil conversation. So.
Very amicable, I've got no doubt, and we're going to have a timeout. So, in their last game against the Boomers, Jason Bennett really pointed out about the coaching style, almost the teaching style that Shane Heel is bringing, that he actually does a lot of the feedback in-game as opposed to waiting till later on. It's a really interesting insight that he gleaned from the people he'd spoken to about Shane Heel and what he is as a coach for this very, very young group.
Yeah, and that could be a beneficial way, but it will probably be very different for the girls. So to actually get their head around it might take some time, but if it does work, then you could start to see that in the next few games that it really starts to come together.
It's just a little bit of delay, as I think might be getting a little bit of a clean up on aisle something. I didn't hear the timeout called, so yeah, it looks like they're just doing a little bit of tidy up, spring clean. So that Opal squad, we might have a chat about it while we've got the time. Alison Downey, but Sammy Whitcomb, Shyla Hill, Maddie Rocci, Rebecca Cole, Lauren Nicholson, Tess Madgen, Jade Melbourne, Steph Talbot, Sarah Blixars, Annalie Maley, Alana Smith, Ezzy McBagor, Darcy Garvin, who's just been on fire from long range from Perth. More three-pointers than anyone in the competition. Abby Bishop, Kayla George, and Zatina Ayakuso. What did you make of the squad?
Yeah, well, look, it looks like they're really basing it on how players are playing at the moment in the WNBL, which is really good.
Yep.
You know, why not pick people on form, and why not pick people that are playing well and you know that they're coming in quite prepared.
Every player named for that camp that's going to start at the end of January, go over 3 or 4 days before they play these qualifiers against Serbia, are all playing in the WNBL, which is great.
Yeah, it is. And like, as I said, you know, it's nice to be able, we've been able to watch them, we've been able to watch them grow, and now we're going to be able to see them at an international stage.
So we've been able to clean up what we needed to. Mansfield to convert the three-point play to give the Flames a 3-0 lead. It's a good start. Expect a strong response from the Lightning. Talbot. Kiana Williams, always busy. the US import. Shook loves this situation. She'll like that matchup. Froling always has to battle bigger opponents, and instead of taking it herself, she turns provider Shook, and Williams buries the corner three.
That's smart by Shook. I think she's got a mismatch in there, but they're going to collapse on that, and so she kicks it out for a wide open three.
Talbot the rebound. Little crossover on Hill, just out the back door, had two to beat, and was able to Shook, and then turns provider to Brooke for a baseline two. So a couple of assists already for Shook. In-out basketball from the Adelaide Lightning. Hill quickly into the paint and gets her own offensive glass, then coughed it up, well read by Kiana Williams, and Rowe just had to foul there, really. Dangerous situation with Williams in the open court. They call that the professional foul?
Well, yeah, you know, and she's probably lucky not to get... I know there was a few ahead of her, but, you know, probably enough to sort of show that it was meant to be a foul.
Kiana Williams, 18th pick in the 2021 WNBA draft, Seattle Storm, so was released at the end of last WNBA season, but did have the year with Steph Talbot. And it's a great bit of recruiting from the Lightning because she also played 2 years of college at Stanford with Alana Smith. Yeah,
and that's it, you know, you've already got that synergy and you know how they play, so it's a great bit of recruiting.
Talbot, an open look from up top, no good. Rowe the rebound, and Mansfield open court, little hand in from Williams, just made it uncomfortable for Mansfield, couldn't get the shot up. Werung comes away with it. Another open look for Talbot, a little foul, and she'll go to the line. The and one, and a chance for a 4-point play.
Don't you love now how the game is a pull-up three is the new transition? It's the way everyone plays, particularly Perth, but, you know, I love that. And then the foul, it's probably a bit of a coach killer.
Just seeing on the replay there, a little bit of contact from Shyla Hill. And that sends Talbot to the line. 70% career free throw shooter coming into this year. So 8-3 Adelaide lead. They're on an 8-0 run at the moment. Renee Davis is into the game. The new import for the Flames. The Froling miss enables her to get her first rebound. Mansfield quickly back to Froling. Is that a little grab of the arm from Talbot, or is the foul on Shook? We'll await the call.
I think it'll be a body foul on Shook. Just didn't quite get across, and, you know, Froley's strength there to keep it away from Talbot. Just keep going.
So a couple in and out. Keely Froling gets credit for this every week, but they're an undersized Flames outfit. So she has got the substantial size mismatch with Shook, but to see her take it straight to her and almost trick her into the foul.
And that's going to be the best way for her to play it, because she can take off the drive. That's one of her favourite things to do, is that drive from the elbow, but hard to guard for Shook.
Shook now. Froling shuts down the space. Talbot spins right into the space. Couldn't get the finish. Brooke almost the putback. Ball out of play. It'll be the Flames. 8-4 Adelaide lead. Shyla Hill averaging 16.7 points per game, 6 in the competition. Mansfield, you back her in more often than not with an open look.
Yeah, you would, and you know that's probably that 29-day break that creeps into that early touch of the game. But I'm sure as the game progresses, she'll be making those.
Career 34% three-point shooter is Mansfield. Went full court press, did Sydney. Werung under some pressure on the low post. Shook, little left-hand hook. Just an exquisite finish.
That's nice touch. That's so hard to guard, particularly for Froling being just a little bit undersized there.
She's a very, very accomplished player. Is Kylie Shook. All the skills. Step back, opening points, nothing but net. Renee Davis, can she provide the scoring spark that the Flames have been sorely lacking this year? Williams almost a full court pass. Underneath, Brooke now the finish and the service from Talbot. They can answer so quickly, Adelaide. 12-6, they lead. Mansfield double team just gets it to Heel under enormous pressure from Talbot. Corner three opportunity opens up and doesn't go. On the counter attack now, Werung confronted by Heel, back up top to Williams. Little crossover, gets the screen, pick and roll was good. Now Shook's only got throw in to beat and can't. Enormous defensive effort.
That's good defence by Sydney, but Adelaide were a little bit stagnant there. They sort of just waited, I don't know, ran down the clock a little bit, and then it put Shook in a not great situation to sort of that double guess herself whether to take the shot or to take the drive, because no one's moving around it.
Heel gets it back from Keely Froling. After the block, Mansfield, Renee Davis, step back on Brooke. Does she get the kind bounce? No, Froling can't crash the board. Almost a travel there from Marina Whittle. It's just a little bit too easy there. Simple finish for Brooke. And the lead out to a game-high 8 points. Mansfield gets the look she wants, just not the finish she desired. Shook the rebound, Werung quickly up the floor. Brooke back to Shook. Whittle got the step inside, just not the finish. Good defence from Mansfield, and she takes it straight back. No look pass, rolling in. Foul was called before the shot was blocked by Shook. Let's have a look at this. How are you reading this one, Alison Downey? Little hand in.
Yeah, little hand in.
Yep.
Should be 2 shots, I'd say. Yeah, just on her steps. What I'm liking is the transition from both teams. They're pushing the ball really hard off missed shots, but then probably something that they both want to going to talk about is their transition defence in the first time out.
Froling gets the first of her 2. And leaves another one out there. So she's 2 of 4 from the stripe, 2 points to her. Mansfield leads with 3 points for the Flames and 6 points to Brooke. High scorer so far for the Lightning. This is Whittle. Another open look for Talbot. She can't get this one. Not having a great night from outside the line. Might go again here. Offensive boards. And Brooks' corner 3 doesn't go, and there's a foul called against Whittle.
Little push in the back, I think.
So 14-7. Adelaide looking pretty comfortable at the moment. Still 3 and change to play in the first quarter at Brydens Stadium. Heel, Davis sets the screen. Heel can't get the finish. Talbot can get the rebound. Quickly back up the floor, trying to catch this Flames defence on the back foot. Reading it nicely, Emma Mahady comes up with the steal. Picked it off. Mansfield, low post, Purcell. Then a step back 3 from Heel. Off the front of the rim, Mahady tears after it again. Flicked it back into play, but it was all red singlets. Corner 3, no good on that occasion.
I think in that situation there, Adelaide needed just to back it out, set an offence, make Sydney play some defence and tire them out that way. Otherwise, it's just been up and back and it's too easy to defend.
Mansfield goes to Heel on the low post. It's Purcell, then back out Mahady and up top, Heel. There's the finish. Just hasn't been able to score with the efficiency that she would have liked so far in this game, but gets her opening points to Charlotte Hill. Talbot couldn't quite get the screen she wanted. Now Alana Smith just hangs back and can't drain that three. Mansfield step back at the stripe. It rattles out. Whittle the rebound. And Werung will set him up. Smith bumped off the defence of Purcell. Back out. Whittle's three ball is short. So they're just looking a little bit scrappy the last couple of forays down the floor, Adelaide.
Yeah, they are. And as I said before, they look a bit stagnant, you know. I don't know if it's a bit of fatigue or what that is, but, you know, they just need to keep moving on the weak side and create more opportunities for the one with the ball.
Smith charges down the floor, draws the foul after Renaya Davis, the new import in her first game for Sydney, missed her little left-handed teardrop. And she'll have a seat. Scored on her opening shot. Now is 1 of 3. Has a rebound, an offensive one. 15-4 the rebounds at the moment. 5-2 offensive though in favour of Sydney.
I think that'll be a stat that Chris Lucas talks about at quarter time.
Talbot shook, was double teamed in the middle, which meant that Whittle, just from the elbow, was able to find a little bit of leverage and find a bucket.
And that's the shot they need. There's those easy shots that, you know, elbow's almost like a layup these days. I think too many players...
Strong collision. Talbot tearing after the ball.
Too many
bit
players...
of contact with Jaeger and she helps her up and it'll be a Sydney ball.
That's nice of Jaeger, isn't it? I think that players are living and dying by the three-point line, but when you get fatigued, it's not the option to be taking. So they need to find those easier shots, get their touch, and then the threes will come.
Almost losing her balance was Rowe. Able to get back up top to Mansfield. Horseshoes around. Just can't get the angle off the window, but Froling can get the offensive glass. Rowe, Jaeger, Froling doesn't take the shot the first or the second time. Jaeger, step inside, shot clock expiring. Nice slicing move into the paint and the finish from Jaeger. Oh, and just like that, Whittle drops a bomb as time expires in the first quarter. That always hurts. Seconds ticking away. Big three to finish off the first. 19-11. Tightly held at the moment. This game, not particularly high scoring, but certainly at a high intensity. Sydney looking for their first win of the year. The Lightning on a 3-game winning streak. As we head into the first quarter break, it's the Flames 11, the Lightning 19.
To everyone who said we're not strong enough, not fast enough, wrong. We're crossover queens, scoring buckets, taking names and hitting no-look threes. We fight for every ball. Until we dunk, hell yeah. When we roll into the court with nothing to lose and everything to prove, you're in for a show. She got style, she got balls, she got belief, she got game.
Eleven to 19. The score at Brydens Stadium. Sydney Uni Flames looking for their first win of the year. They're up against the top of the table, Adelaide Lightning, who have just been a little bit more accomplished in their offensive set. Sam Hargraves, Alison Downey with you. Your impressions of the first quarter, Alison?
Yeah, look, scrappy, and that would purely be because of time played since their last game. I think what Chris Lucas would be looking at the moment would be 6 offensive rebounds. Not good enough. But again, in their defence is a little bit more disruptive, so there's quite a few mismatches and you can get caught out there, but something that they want to tidy up. Conversely, I think Sydney need to work on that transition defence, because I think, you know, they're doing well. They're pushing it hard up one end, but then defending it back is where Adelaide's probably opening them up a little bit.
Aussie Hoops is basketball's national junior participation program, introducing kids aged 5 to 10 years old to basketball. They learn and improve fundamental movement skills, the basics, teamwork, cooperation. That'll benefit them over life, not just on the court, but off the court as well. More importantly, they have fun, they make friends, and the success of the Aussie Hoops program can easily be measured on the smiles of more than 100,000 kids that do the program each and every year. AussieHoops.basketball/find a program. Registrations for Term 1 programs are now open, and we are now back underway. This is Morgan Jaeger, who got her first points of the game, former Lightning development player. Now with the Flames, threading the needle was Heel into the corner and then back out to Jaeger, spinning into the paint and then throwing it to her coach. Not sure what happened there.
Probably just saw what she thought was blue and passed it there.
Kiana Williams, 3 points for her in the opening quarter. Still going to be an Adelaide ball. They've looked for that. They've looked for the player making the move to the bucket consistently, Adelaide.
They have, and that was better ball movement there. You know, they're swinging it right around. Movement from one side to the other, which opens up that lane for Alana Smith to slip through.
Shook to Williams. Williams to Whittle. Low post was Alana Smith. Froling knocked it away. Smith regained and then coughs it up, and Froling has 2 to beat. Is that a foul? And do they count the finish? It'll be waved away. The foul will be on Kiana Williams. Thought she might have gone to Jaeger in the corner all alone.
Looks like Williams might have meant that foul so that it couldn't happen.
Yeah. So they inbound Rowe. They work it up to Heel via Pizzi. Heel. Pizzi just dropped it over the top to Froling, who immediately drew a crowd and the foul. Third time to the stripe for Keely Froling. Has 2 of 4 for the night. They need her to hit both of these. Steph Talbot coming back in. Marina Whittle will have a seat. Talbot 3 points in the first quarter, averaging 13.8 this year. 5 down on last year, which was a career best, obviously. The league MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. And again, Froling's missed both of those.
Yeah, that's probably going to get into her head now, so she needs to just reset and start again.
2 of 6. Talbot can't get that 3 either. Collision between Sam Simons and Shyla Heel. And the foul on Simons. Forestville, South Australia, so local, by St Mary's College, which so many Aussies have been and will do. Heel had to beat 3. Big arcing attempted layup on the left hand, and what's the call here?
I think it's just out of bounds.
Yep.
But that, again, you know, well, 3 around the ball, but there's no one boxing out Froling, so you know, almost another offensive rebound for Sydney, but they get it back.
Smith just couldn't reel it in. Froling drew Williams, which opened up Heel, and she's well off on the 3 ball, and Shook comes up with it to Talbot. Simon's little head fake on Heel was good. They left Alana Smith all alone in the corner. They've done the same to Williams. Can't get the kind drop. Mansfield, in fact, it was Jaeger who crashed the boards, and desperate to reclaim the possession. Came from about 3 rows back and then burrowed in. And will take a seat, showing real desperation against her old side. Sam Simons takes a seat as well. Adelaide possession. The feed to Shook from Talbot was everything it needed to be. Unfortunately, the finish wasn't. So neither side has added to their quarter-time score, and we've played 2.5 minutes of basketball, more or less.
Yeah, and again, it's probably just a bit of that touch. It's that fatigue that's setting in because you haven't played a game for so long. As the shot clock expires, Hill misses on another 3. She's 0 of 4 from outside. Werung. Oh, bodies flying everywhere. Hill wanted a foul call. Talbot gets a long time to size up that 3 and leaves it short, and Hill comes away with it. Hill guarded by Werung. They left Pizzi alone, and there's a foul off the ball. What have they called that on? They've called it on Alana Smith as a whole, but from my point of view, back here at the studio from the TV,
yes,
her arms were up straight and she wasn't holding anything. So unless I missed something before that.
We've had a timeout call. We'll see if we can get another look at just exactly what transpired in that foul call. But this is quite remarkable. We played over 3 minutes of the second quarter. The score was 11-9 at quarter time. 11-19 at quarter time, and it continues to be 11-19. So neither side setting the world on fire offensively, Alison Downing.
No, and look, they've had good looks. Shook just missed what would be an easy layup for her on any other day, I would say. I think Sydney it's been hard work for them to get an open shot, but as I said before, that I guess that you kind of want to be the hero to shoot the 3 and make the 3, but sometimes that's probably not the best shot if you don't have the touch at the moment. So, you know, maybe draw out a player, one bounce, pull up at the elbow where it's probably an easier shot to make.
So just some of the numbers from the first quarter as we're into the timeout. 6 points to Chelsea. Brooke leads all comers. Marina Whittle has 5. And for the Flames, 3 points to Mansfield, 2 apiece to Jaeger, Froling, Heel and Davis. Rebounds 20-18 in favour of Sydney. They've got 7 of 3 offensive rebounds. Sydney haven't registered an assist yet in this game, and Adelaide have got 7 of those. 3 turnovers to 4 in favour of Sydney. 4 steals to 2 in favour of Sydney. 3-point percentage of 0% for Sydney. They haven't hit a 3 yet. 23% for Adelaide. Adelaide shooting at 50%. Sydney just at 24%. Some of the major numbers, and we're back underway. Mansfield, a little shake and bake effort. Werung not buying what she's selling, just has to heave it up in hope, and I reckon Werung got a little finger on that. I reckon we count that as a block. At the very least, we count it as supreme defence.
Fantastic defence. You know, these days that one-on-one is so difficult, but Werung moved her feet, stayed in front. It was really good to see.
Mansfield got a bit of her own back. Williams, she was able to pick her pocket, got it to Heel. Heel got the foul call, just could not drop the bucket. It hung a long time on the rim before saying, no, I don't think so. That's a team lifter. They employ this full court press a lot, Sydney. They did it against the Boomers and actually would help them get their way back into a competitive position in that game.
Yeah, they do, and it's interesting because it's so easy to break a full court press, but if you're not on at all times and you're not thinking, then it's such a great defense to catch your players out, and they've just done it.
Heel up to 3 points. Another foul shot missed. They are 4 of 9 from the stripe. Werung, Shook in the paint. Brooke back out to Werung. Mansfield defence right in her grill. Talbot wants Shook to set the screen. Pizzi was hip to the scene. Ball ricochets out to Shook. Werung in hope from the corner. Good stop from Sydney. Bounce pass in. Froling thought that Pizzi was coming baseline. Werung stepped in front of her to shut that down. Now the handoff to Williams. Talbot back to Williams. Didn't take the open three. Penetrated the lane and finished with all class on the right hand.
And that's what I'm talking about. That's that easier shot. You need to do a few of them, get your touch back, and then you can start taking those threes again.
Talbot, again, almost coming out with a steal, but stepping out of play. Seems to have fit in really well with this Lightning squad. Kiana Williams, you spoke about the fact that all of their starting five play their role to perfection.
Yeah, and she doesn't have to come in and score big points, but you know, she has that little bit of spark and that athleticism that she has to take a defender, and she can score if she needs to, but doesn't have to when you've got Alana Smith and Talbot taking most of it.
Hill, can she get this three? No. Continues to struggle from the land of plenty. They're able to reclaim possession though. Was that a little block there from Brooke on the new import, Renaya Davis. 21-12 in favour of Adelaide. Werang, Shook, strong move to the bucket, and even stronger finish on the left hand with 2 to beat. That's what they did to great effect in the first quarter. Now getting back on the same page in the second, Adelaide. Yeah,
I'd say that Chris Lucas is saying go back to that high-low sort of movement, but utilise those mismatches. They don't have the height to be guarding Shook in there.
Mansfield can't get the long-range two. Shook releases Talbot down the floor. Gets a 2-on-1. Werang was left open. Seems a little extra step there from Brooke. Ref was right there. Eel. Right in the face of Talbot, who has to horseshoe all the way around. Drew 3. They leave Shook all alone. Has the potential to hit that shot, just not on this occasion. And Mansfield quickly back down the floor. Does she push the pace or to let them settle? Good defence from Isabel Borlace. Now Rowe gets it back to Hill. It's just Davis spinning. Talbot forcing her back and just couldn't force it in. Almost cleaned up her own mess. Ball out of play, and it will be a Flames possession.
This is the exciting thing about new people into the league, is that you haven't seen them play before. You can watch highlights from other games that they've played in other leagues, but it's completely different to the way that we play in the WNBL. So, you know, it's hard to scout that, and this is where you sort of, it's hard to defend, and they probably don't really know the offenses that well either, so it's quite unpredictable.
She gets it back here, Davis. She actually had Talbot up in the air then and didn't take the shot to draw the foul. And she hands off to Heel, left alone for 3. This time able to step around Talbot, but ran straight into Brooke, and that was a heave in hope as time expired on the shot clock. At the other end, little shoulder from Borlace to give herself some separation, but they get it into the corner, and Talbot, easy as you like from the corner, gets her second triple.
Talbot just seems to make the shot when they need it the most.
Yeah.
She'll miss 3 or 4, but when they need it and you feel like a basket has to happen now, you give it to Talbot and she makes it. It's like she just knows the time.
26-12, biggest lead of the game now, 14 points. They've only added 1 point in this quarter, Sydney, and we spoke about it coming in, Alison, that they're averaging 62.7 points per game. Adelaide's the stingiest defence in the competition. 29 days without a game. It was always going to be tough for them, and again, they've had to make more changes to their squad. So it's not making excuses, but I suppose it is a bit of perspective. Yeah,
and it's never easy, and you know, there's also that expectation. You're playing the top team. There's a reason why they're on top, but then at the same time, when you have that opportunity, you've got to make it. 4 from 9 free throws.
They've left a fair few out there.
They have. And
field goal percentage now is 18%, and then none of 8 from beyond the arc.
Yeah. And again, you don't want to discourage them from shooting wide open shots, but sometimes I think, you know, as Williams did before, that up fake, you're drawing someone out, you up fake and you take it at them, get back to the free throw line, or you get an easy layup. Jaeger
back into the game, Purcell, and now Heel guarded by Talbot. to Mansfield. Hasn't had many open looks. Cross-court pass. Jaeger. Make that 0 of 10 from 3. Werung weaving through the floor. Rook for 3. Hit long. 3 players hit the floor, and we await the call. It's going to be a Sydney ball. Ball ace coming in from about 2 or 3 rows back. Probably just a touch overzealous.
Just keen.
No, nothing wrong with that. Well, there is from a rules point of view, but from an endeavour point of view.
And from a spectacle and from the from the coach's point of view too. I think you'd love that.
Make that 0 of 9, sorry, Sydney. I shouldn't inflict any more pain than is necessary. And they're inflicting a fair bit of that themselves, though. Another free throw goes begging. They're 4 of 10 now as Manfield misses. Gets the second. Oh, and Talbot loses it. No look pass from Heel. Jaeger just a bit too strong on the layup, and she might have drawn the foul. You see the royal smile on her face, and the head thrown back in anguish of Steph Talbot. No, it's going to be an Adelaide ball. They employ the full court press again. Heel, Werung, double team. Talbot gets him over half court and then back to Werung, and they'll slow it down and set themselves up here, Adelaide. 13-point lead. Werung waiting for Talbot to get into the paint. Denied entry. Smith. Shot clock expires. It's almost inexcusable to not have got through their possession anywhere near a shooting opportunity when time expired.
Yeah, you're right, but then that's that full court press. It slows you right down, so you're only crossing the line just before that 14 seconds, which doesn't give you much time to even get anywhere. Most offenses would be running at about 20 seconds.
2 minutes left in the half. Mansfield, Purcell on a low post, back to Heel, double team. Froling, oh, did everything but drop. Talbot, she's double teamed. Lana Smith, aggressive into the paint. She kicked it out to Werung. Offensive foul called. Froling's as tough as they come. Nothing wrong with the call there, Alison.
No, it's a good call. And, you know, I think from watching the games this season, Alana Smith, when it's not going her way, she sort of tries to force her way through and try and create something that's not quite there. When she just needs to take a step back, slow down, kick it around a bit more, and her teammates will bring her into the game just off making Sydney have to defend them. But good positioning there by Keely.
Mansfield, Jaeger, low post, Froling, trying to back up Whittle, who wasn't budging. Back out to Heel, into the avenue. That is a big, big defensive stop, but she drew the foul and will go to the line for 2. With authority from Steph Talbot with the 2 hands, but the foul was called just before.
I don't know, do they get counted as blocks still, even if the foul was before?
I would think maybe not.
But then if it went in, it would be 2 points, so do they get, I don't know.
Interesting. Oh, and again, another foul shot missed as Froling get the offensive glass, fighting hard for it. It'll be an Adelaide ball. 6 of 13 from the charity stripe. Made to work hard to get over. Now I've got to keep an eye on the shot clock. Werung left all alone. Drains the 3. 15-point lead now. Mansfield Hill was left all alone from well behind the line. Offensive rebound. Purcell gets it out to Mansfield. That's a stat that they're winning at the moment, 9-3, Sydney. They go into the corner. Jaeger can't drop the bomb. They still able to get their own mess back. Jaeger, this time, there's a Jaeger bomb that we'd encourage everybody to have. Against her old club too, that'll be all the sweeter. .12 Adelaide lead. Simons, hand off to Talbot. Whittle and Werung, consecutive triples, if you don't mind. And then the Hail Mary attempt from Mansfield to close out the half. Low scoring one. But 13-6 in favour of the Lightning in that quarter, sees them with a 32-17 lead at the half. Alison Downey, it was a bit of a grind that quarter, pretty low scoring. But the class of Adelaide just coming through when it matters most, and the Flames have got some real issues with their shooting at the moment.
Yeah, and you can start to see just at the end of that quarter that Adelaide look like they're starting to get that touchback that they haven't had. You know, Wirrong making 2 threes in a row. You can see the fatigue setting in from Sydney because they're having to work so hard just to get to the bucket, and then not being able to convert those free throws is just sort of a little bit more of a knife in the heart.
Renaya Davis, we just saw her first points in her first game as Sydney. Morgan Jaeger's done a couple of good things. She's got 5 points on the night, but Whittle dropping that 3. Kiana Williams, always a handful. And as you pointed out, Alison Downey, when they need a bucket, it's so often Steph Talbot that provides it. And Abby Werung, back-to-back 3-pointers from her to close out the half. As we have a look at the stats, 32-17, Adelaide lead. A lot of fouls for Adelaide, but it's the shooting percentages that would be frustrating, to say the least, for coach Shane Hill for Sydney.
Yeah, because you can't say that the opportunities aren't there for them. 37 field goals to 31. You know, they've put up 14 threes, but only made 1. And then you look at that free throw, under 50%. Probably you wouldn't see that in the WNBL very often. You know, you'd be looking at 75% above. So frustrations for them. Yes, they haven't played for a long time, but, you know, we're at the highest level in Australia, and so you would expect that to be a touch better.
Just get the feeling that they might be doing a lot of that at training during the week after this game, the Sydney Uni Flames. Hey, there's still a half of basketball still to play, and we know that anything can happen in a half, but at the moment they're trailing 17-32 at Brydens Stadium. Sam Hargraves, Alison Downey will rejoin you after the halftime break. It's a 32-17 Lightning lead over the Flames. Resume this match between the Sydney Uni Flames and the Adelaide Lightning. Second half action just about to start. It was a 13-6 grind in the second quarter. The Lightning have got a 32-17 lead, and Alison Downey, the Flames have got some real scoring issues. They're 1 of 14 from three-point land. They're shooting at just 17% from the field, 7% for three, and they're 6 of 13 from the free throw line. It has been probably the biggest story of this game because they've had their opportunities.
Yeah, they have. And look, at halftime, you don't want to discourage them from shooting any shots at all, but I think the message will be to run an offense, utilise mismatches and play a smarter game.
So can they get something cohesive happening offensively? Purcell didn't hand it off, did eventually to Hill, who went around the back and then into the corner. Mansfield, 34% over her career, gets a much-needed one here. She's 1 of 4, and they just get their second triple of the evening. 12-point Adelaide lead to start the second half. Shook Purcell out of it into the air, but didn't take the shot. Back to Williams. Started last year, won the national championship with Stanford University. All been taken at pick 19, the WNBL draft. Inside to Shook, gets her own offensive glass, but then loses it to Froling, who threw it away, trying to get it to Heel. It'll be a Lightning ball. Credit the defence of Keely Froling on that. She's just a warrior.
Yeah, good defence and almost a shot clock violation, but then just lost her footing and fumbled the ball, and that's a turnover.
Steph Talbot having a solid game. 6 points, equal leader. 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Up top to Williams. Werung, her third triple in a row. Lead back out to 15 points. Froling thought about going inside. In the end, to Mansfield in a low post. Hill got it to Purcell and back out to Mansfield. They couldn't quite set the screen. Shot clock expiring. Purcell drops in the short range two.
It's a nice shot from Purcell, and that's, you know, that's her range, and she's got great touch. She's got a great shot. I'd like to see more of that. She doesn't really take the game on, but I think Sydney as a team need her to do that.
So Steph Talbot. Cross court. Brooke all alone. Shook not so. A little bit too hot for her, and she just says, just a fraction lower, and I had it. Abby Werung was in the overall squad of players that were listed to be in contention for the FIBA World Cup in September next year. Not part of the 16 that are going to be playing Serbia, but she's just reminding Coach Sandy that, yeah, don't forget about me. Mansfield's little pull-up two, no good. And it'll be a Lightning ball off hands, out of play. Werung 3 of 5 from outside tonight. Full court press again. Heel stepped in to try and take it away from Talbot. Gets the call against her, and much to her bewilderment. How are you seeing that one, Alison?
Look, it might have been on row, probably a bit stiff, but hands in. It's an easy call for the referee.
Werung, Brooke hands it off to Talbot. Williams comes up to take it from her, and what about the back door? Luckily able to reclaim possession, but they were just caught on the back foot there. Sydney. Purcell had to come and help. No one picked up Talbot until it was almost too late. And Shook missing another layup. Nice find from Williams. Strong move to the bucket, just not the finish. Froling goes inside, then gives it outside. Rowe, now Heel again, one-on-one with Werung. Step back, long range, two, splash. That'll give her confidence a massive boost, coming off 29 points in the loss to the Boomers. Werung just a little bit too much on that pass for Brook, backtracking to the bucket and throwing again the disruptor. Hill comes away and they get consecutive baskets. The lead is 11 points. As Mansfield drops it to Purcell and back out to Hill. Hill gets another 2-point look she likes. Can't get the back-to-back doubles. Another look at the Hill. Step back. Numbers tonight, 0 of 6 for 3, 2 of 6 from the field. 6 points. Mansfield has 7 to lead the Flames. Werung has 9 to lead the Lightning. Williams knows the quickest way over that full court press is to pass over the top of it, and Werung passed it just too far to the right-hand side of Shook, and they give it back to the Flames. 6.5 to play, third quarter. 10th turnover for the Lightning.
And that's another thing that a full court press does. You know, you get it up and over, you feel like you're open, and you become a little bit erratic. It makes you play erratic, which is what they want to do, and it's causing turnovers.
Jaeger back into the game, had 5 points in the first half. Hill, this time guarded by Talbot. Werung's got the matchup on Mansfield. Back to Hill. Shot clock expiring again. Hill tries to go around the back, bounce the ball into her own. Hill, just the heave-in hope from Kalani Purcell's no good, and Williams looks to make them pay. Quickly down the floor, out to Werung. Brook to Shook this time, we're able to collaborate, and here Mansfield came out of nowhere. Gets called for the foul. Stole it. What we thought was seemingly legal. No, just a chop of the arms. This looked like one that could have gone either way, though, Alison.
Potentially, yes. You know, Shook probably didn't need to take the bounce, just needed to settle herself and then go back up because she had the positioning on Purcell there.
It's her first free throw. And misses a second. We've seen a lot of free throws missed tonight. 12-point Adelaide lead. Sydney were able to claw their way back into the game against Melbourne 29 days ago. Went down by 6 in the end, but show what they're capable of when they can string some offensive sets together. Again, the shot clock is their enemy. Idea was right, execution not so from Hill, trying to get the Froling as she drew a few to her. Came off a lightning hand though, so they'll get the ball back, but just 2 seconds on the shot clock means that they need to run a set piece here, Alison. And that's not it. No, that's not it.
They would definitely have a play for that particular situation, but in that case did not run it.
It's 5.5 to play. Adelaide seemingly in control. Talbot. Shook back to Talbot, who asks Williams to move for her, and she does. Had a year together at the Seattle Storm. Williams was let go at the end of that year. Now teammates at the Lightning. Williams gets it back, stepping through the raindrops, and the finish on the right hand. How did she find an avenue there?
Is that for a crossover?
Well, it looked like they'd shut the door, but it must have been one of those beaded ones you see over a student's doorway. Easily able to get through. Mansfield, they need this from her, and she can't provide. That's just elite floor spacing from the Lightning. You saw it from Talbot, Williams and Shook. Just the link-up play. Timeout call, 16-point Adelaide lead, and it's their big names that are getting it done. Williams with a sublime move and finish, and then the service to Brook underneath, and she gets the 2. Biggest lead of the night.
And that's what Adelaide seem to do quite well, is that they score and then they score and score again, and it's where Sydney is lacking. You know, they've been able to get a few nice baskets, but then they just sort of let Adelaide score up the other end, or if they are making those stops, they're not scoring up the other end. So that's just something that I'm sure that the Flames will review throughout the week and just have a look at how they can make that better.
They seem to be the Lightning team under Chris Lucas, and you tell me whether it's a benchmark or a hallmark of the teams that he coaches, being a championship winning coach on a couple of occasions, but they seem to really collaborate well with each other. They are a team that looks like they want to share the ball around, get it through as many hands as possible.
Yeah, and look, I haven't been coached by Chris, but it seems like it's that sort of a team that it doesn't matter who scores as long as they win, and that's the key, you know. And you can see no one's in double figures yet, which is, at this stage of a game, surely you would see one person, particularly with the calibre they have.
We're on a 9 leading. Brooks got 8. Williams has got 7. Heel just hasn't been able to find her range tonight. Drew 2. And this is Renaya Davis. Her first triple in the WNBL comes at a much-needed moment in this game. Just their third three-pointer for Sydney. The lead is 13 points. Williams threads the needle for Shook. Previously to Brook, now for Shook. One from the right, one from the left. Now back to 15, as it was at the half. Renaya Davis spinning baseline, denied by Brook. Talbot charges in to Mansfield, and does she get the call? It's just very, very strong defence from Chelsea Brook.
Yeah, and it's not a bad move for Davis. So that's just her feeling her way into the WNBL. She's played against these players before, so, you know, and you can see she's got the talent, she's athletic. I think she will fit in really well in this Sydney team, but it'll probably just take a couple of games for her to find how her game slots in against the rest of the league.
Simon's back into the game. So too Alana Smith, already into the pick and roll, and gets the double.
That's the start Alana needs. I think I don't think she's had an inside shot just yet. So, you know, making those two, that'll give her a confidence.
Hard to believe that it's her opening points, given she averages 17.5 a game. Mansfield can't get any kind of drop, but Davis can get the offensive rebound. Heel can't get the three, though. It's long. Another offensive board for Renaya Davis. Will Heel pull the trigger again? No, she wants to penetrate the paint. She loses the handle, but gains the foul.
And you can't fault Sydney's endeavour and effort in this game. You know, they've got, is it 13 offensive rebounds in any game? A coach would be saying under 8. So, you know, they've far exceeded that. That's something that Adelaide probably need to work on, is boxing out, but Sydney are exploiting that, and so they're giving themselves those opportunities. They're just not shooting well today.
So Heel at the line, where they're 6 of 13. And you heard the Bronx cheers from the Brydens Stadium faithful. She's able to get that one, 7 of 14. And she got both. First player, I think, to get both free throws of any team tonight. 44-29, no look, wraparound pass, Talbot to Smith. We're so used to saying that, and the baseline 2 rolls out. Sydney ball. Just on Renaya Davis, 4 years at Tennessee, as I said, picked 9 in the WNBA draft, but didn't play for the Minnesota Lynx. Stress fracture in her foot, but is top 10 in just about every major stat in Tennessee University history. So Froling gets a much-needed double from the elbow. It's her 4th points. That's just a lovely find. Baseline cut from Talbot. Williams honours it. Talbot finishes it. Leads 15 again. Mansfield. Simons has got that uncomfortable length. Davis spinning on Smith. Got a little finger on it, but apparently committed the foul, and Davis will go to the line.
That looks like Smith's 4th, so she'll probably head back to the bench and have a little bit more time resting.
Just hasn't been her night. Alana Smith We've been revelling in her being part of the WNBL for the first time in her career. Has just the 2 points, but 5 rebounds as well. Has 3 turnovers too, so uncharacteristic night for Alana Smith. Davis gets the first. Currently with the Phoenix Mercury in the WNBA. Davis got both of her free throws. But she now has 7 points to go with 3 rebounds. They're all offensive and an assist. Williams again, just such a good floor general. This time finds Simons in the corner, but she couldn't finish making the move inside, and Mansfield fouls Shook, much to her disbelief. She's got exceptional vision from what I can tell, Kiana Williams.
Yeah, she does, and I think that now the press has been played most of the game, that they're awake to it now, and Williams is, you know, she's sort of carving it up, as you would say, but she's sort of seeing what's there ahead of what's Sydney are.
Averaging just, oh, there's an offensive rebound off a free throw. Shane Heal doing well just to keep the composure. Williams, little hand from Heal. They almost lost her. Talbot they find, and she finishes for 3.
And there it is again. Sydney have done so well to go stop after stop, and then they sort of just let their guard down, and Adelaide score multiple times.
Frolling in the deep, left it shallow. Steph Talbot, 3 of 7 from beyond the arc, 11 points to lead all comers. Has 7 rebounds and 5 assists. Just the all-round complete player, isn't she?
Yeah, she is, and you know, she's such an asset to that team. And we've said Smith only scoring 2 points, but it doesn't really matter in a team like this, where it's not about, doesn't seem to be about stats and about points being scored. It's about playing the game and taking what the game gives you.
So 16-point lead, equal biggest of the night. They're having no trouble with a full court press now, Adelaide. So if you're Shane Heal, do you go back to a mid-court as Werung able to penetrate the paint and gets the 2 on the teardrop finish, and she's now up to 11 points, equal with Steph Talbot? Or do you persist with the full court press?
Yeah, look, I would make a change, even if it's to a half-court press, and just sort of try and make Adelaide second-guess themselves again.
Sydney working through hands to Mansfield with a hand in her face. Her 3 ball is short. Simons the rebound, and here comes Steph Talbot. Half-court pass to Shook on the finish. Had 2 to beat and did it comfortably. Heal trying to plot a course inside. There is none. So they have to get Mansfield. Strong defence from Whittle. Little hand in from Shook, and Whittle's going to come up with it. Has options to her left and to her right. And why wouldn't you go to Steph Talbot with a hot hand? 14 points now for the reigning MVP. And that lead is blown out now to 23 points. Again, the shot clock, the enemy for the Flames. It expires, and so too does the third quarter. It was a 24-point quarter for the Adelaide Lightning, and they go in with the biggest lead of the game with a quarter to play, 56-33. The Flames got 16 points, but it wasn't enough to bridge the gap, and now we've got a 23-point game. Lightning well and truly in control, looking for 4 wins on the bounce at Brydens Stadium. Aren't we looking forward to that? It all kicks off in September. Basketball fans, FIBA's flagship competition, the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup, is heading to Australia in September. Over 10 action-packed days, Sydney Olympic Park, 12 powerhouse basketball nations are going to battle it out for the world title. You can sign up for first access to tickets at womensworldcup.basketball. The FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup 2022, Sydney, September. Can't wait for that. And there's 3 players who are playing in this game that are going to be part of the first up squad to play their qualifiers against Serbia. And at the moment, Steph Talbot showing exactly why she is the reigning MVP. 14 points. She's got 4 of 8 from three-point range. She's got 7 rebounds to go with 6 assists. And she just stepped it up in that third quarter, Alison Downing.
Yeah, and we said it earlier that when they need her, she's there. And that's the experience of Steph and just, that all-round player that she is. But also when she needs to bring other players into the game, she can do that as well, which she does. So, such an asset to have, as I've said before. She'd be quite happy with 14 points. She'd probably be happy just to sit there and watch the rest of the game because she's that type of a team player as well.
So Abby Werung this year, just having a look at her points per game, only averaging 3.3, so she's got 11, so a season best for her. 3 of 5. Not known comprehensively as a three-point shooter, but has been fantastic in that space tonight. Nakasoglu comes in for the Sydney Uni Flames. As we get the last quarter started, can they salvage something, Sydney University? Shook shut down the option of the 3 for Mansfield. Purcell wanted the foul call. She'll have to settle with the bucket. Hard fought underneath. This is Isabel Borlace, and won a national title with South Australia last year. Her brother plays for the Adelaide Crows. Her mother played 70 games of netball for Australia with the Diamonds, and she gets her first points. And her father won 4 premierships for Port Adelaide in the sample. So how's that for a sporting family?
Yeah, and she started well there, just coming on and making her first bucket. So, and it's good to see that Chris has the confidence in his bench to play them, even at this stage of the game. Mansfield gets her second 3, cuts the lead back to 20. Shook could have taken the elbow too, just gives it up to Werung. Heel guarding her, gets all the way in, and that's a nice finish. Just got heel going underneath her as she went up, Abby Werung. Up top, Purcell. Now to heel. Guarded by Borlace. Mansfield. Can't find a path in. Nakasoglu can, and the dish quickly to Purcell. They get it through hands. Pizzi, heel, 3-pointer. Shot clock expires. That's a bit better. Better late than never for Sydney. Lead under 20. Purcell fouls Whittle. So the 3-point percentage just creeping up for Sydney. Was at 7% at one stage, now at 22%. Yeah, and they just need to keep playing the game and use the momentum into their next game. I guess when you look at the scoreboard, you probably say Adelaide's got the game in their hands, but Sydney need to be looking forward. It's such a long season, and they've got plenty of games ahead of them. This is Borlace. You can tell she's only new to the team. The name's not on the back of the singlet just yet, but I reckon it will be in pretty quick time. Simons can't drain the turnaround 2 from the baseline. Mansfield, little shimmy. Borlace denies her entry to the key. Nakasoglu, lovely handle shown from heel, and an even better finish. Just getting into her work now, up to 13 points. She averages 16.7 for the year, 6 in the competition. Werung, Simons, Nakasoglu guarding her. Whittle thought about the 3. Borlace puts the ball on the floor. Little hand in from Mansfield. They're going to call that a jump ball.
Good team defence. The help came for Funda Nakasoglu by Mansfield. Came through Bulleen to Nakasoglu. Scored over 2,000 points in college at the University of Florida. Most amount of three-pointers made, highest three-point percentage in her junior year. Debuted in the WNBL at 16. And then had the best scoring average in program history at Utah State University. Getting some minutes in this game. 17-point lead. Hill threw it away. Wanted Nakasoglu, and Simons intercepts. Into Whittle, just lost control. And they lose possession, the Lightning. So if you're Chris Lucas now, I mean, is 17 points enough for you to look to go deep to your bench? Your starters have done their job.
Yeah, they have. But, you know, Sydney, they've got the potential to score. And you can see Charlotte's starting to get the touch and, you know, make her shot. So I guess you don't want to give it away too much, but I like that he started to integrate them in so that they're not just getting the last 2 minutes of the game, and it gives them that confidence that when they go back out there, they've had that quick run around. You know, and they're playing, you're not doing like a 5-on, 5-off. They're playing with your starters as well. It works really well.
No three-pointer for Whittle, and there wasn't in the earlier shot from Jaeger either in the corner. She now goes to Mansfield in a more central location, sets the screen, but Whittle was right behind her to make sure they weren't going to lose touch. Hill, little hesitation step, trying the crossover on Simons. Good defence, kept in front of her. Jaeger, tough bucket, forced her way in and forced it to go. She's done a couple of really good things as Morgan Jaeger.
Yeah, she has. And really, the one shot that she missed was the one that she was wide open, but she's got some great touch around the basket.
Foul in the avenue on Talbot. Threw it up, hoping to gain access to the stripe. Don't know if the foul was in the motion. No, and Talbot will go to the line. So shows why I'll never be a referee, Alison Downing. Morgan Jaeger spent 4 years at Oregon. Known as the Ducks. So what's the call there? As I was just looking at my stats. 62-45. So the lead is now 17 points. Mansfield to make it 14, no luck. And a foul on Froley means that the Flames are going to get possession.
I think they called that on Alana Smith.
Yeah, just having a look at how that's been adjudicated. Chris Lucas just having the same inquiries that we are. As Chelsea Brook gets set to come back into the game. She's got 8 points, 3 rebounds, an assist on the night. Now, if that's on Alana Smith, which it looks like it was, then she is done for the night. So her quietest game of the season, just 2 points, 1 of 2 shooting, 0 of 2 for 3, 5 rebounds, and had 3 turnovers. And they're still up by 17, Adelaide, as Hill could not get past the defence of Brook. Talbot's had a very good game. Foul on Hill and a tech. Just a little back chat was there.
Yeah.
Is that Shyla or Shane? It was very close to the Shane vicinity.
Look, it could have been either. I think it's just those frustrations, probably up the other end, potentially a body foul for Hill if she was driving. So, you know, it's that time of the game, you're fatigued, it's hard. you say something you probably shouldn't say, and the refs are waiting for it because they want to give you that chance.
Reckon they love the theatre of it. Big wind up to the tee.
Yeah.
Williams. Now to Brooke, up top, Shook. That's her shot that she loves to play. Drops it more off the knot. Kyra Evans, the defender, who comes up with the rebound. Froling didn't take the shot under the bucket. To the corner, and Mansfield will drain. In fact, that's Jaeger. That's her second bomb. Morgan Jaeger. 2 3-pointers for her and 10 points on the night. To Williams, drew 2. Got it to Shook. Cross-court pass. Abby Werung's got 4 3-pointers on a season high. 16 points for her. Lead back to 18. Heel coughs it up. Evans was well long in that 3-point attempt. Talbot the rebound, and Williams on the floor, just nonchalant on the step back long range too, if you don't mind.
Yeah, it's almost like, I haven't had a shot for a while, I'll just take this one, thank you. But what I like about Adelaide is that they identify who's hot. You know, Wirong's had a great game shooting-wise, and they're finding her when she's open to give her that confidence to shoot the ball.
Rolling so often, rolling up the sleeves, doing the hard stuff, gets the offensive ball with 3 to beat, and the putback 2. Air ball from Steph Talbot. I don't know if I've ever said that. 3:24 left on the clock. She was a highly, highly regarded 3-point shooter at Stanfield, Kiana Williams, so she's got the range. She just hasn't really been called on to have to take many of those shots in her role in this Lightning team. No,
she hasn't, but she has that ability. She drags the defender out because she does have those great stats from a 3-point perspective, and then it opens up the lanes for her, and she's so athletic, she just cuts through them.
Sherry Kalea getting some minutes. Couldn't get the 3 for her. Nice pick and roll. Talbot to Brooke, and she's had a really good night. Up to 12 points. Back make that 10. Jaeger just put the shoulder down to try and get into the paint. Evans puts the ball on the floor. Shook stays in front of her, goes into the corner. Step back effort as the shot clock winds down from Rowe. Then had the presence of mind to stay in the contest and got in front of a ball that was intended for Williams on the fast break. Arcing around, no look pass into the corner, came from Kalea. Jaeger couldn't get the corner 3. Williams says, why don't we slow it down with 2 and change left in the final quarter and a 20-point lead comfortably. So the Boomers have played more games, but the fact that it's just easy as you like. Were you thinking there might have been a little push there as Talbot made the strong move, backdoor style to the bucket?
I thought that there might have been a little push in the back.
Offensive.
Push in the back, but
Talbot up to 19 points now. 1 rebound away from another double-double. She's averaging that this year. Evans couldn't finish getting into the paint. And that's a foul called, and we'll go all the way down the other end as they're in the bonus.
Just a little nudge, I think, from Jaeger. Steph made that shot.
Thought there should have been an extra. Gee, there wasn't much in that call either, was there? So minute 36, 22-point Adelaide Lightning lead. And we'll have a timeout. 72 to 50. Or subs will be called, rather. So some of the development players getting some time on the floor for Sydney. Hizzy, strong move Rowe. That's a well-executed play. Williams, look at the needle thread. Bounce pass through 3 defenders. Easy finish for Simons. 23 points the lead now. Biggest of the game. Simons now, after scoring, denies the same opportunity at the other end. And Williams is just turning it up a notch. Simons couldn't get the finish from underneath. The finger roll didn't go. That wraparound backdoor pass. I've said it a couple of times, just how impressive Williams' vision is on the open floor. Crossover, Jaeger. Can't get the 2 to go. Simons again is open on a fast break, and this time she finishes. All just a little bit too easy now. Biggest lead of the game, 25 points to Adelaide. This is a shellacking that Sydney Uni didn't need, looking for their first win of the year. Leah. Inside to Evans. Little fall away 2 is short. Her opposite number, Simons, mops up the glass. And this will be the last possession of the game. And Williams doing the polite thing and not taking another shot. Wow, haven't played a game in 18 days of the Lightning. I know the Sydney Uni Flames has been 29, but there is no rust whatsoever for the Lightning, as they easily account for Sydney Uni, who are winless in their 4 games this year. The Lightning win 4 in a row, and they stay at the top of the WNBL table, 77 to 52. 19 points to Steph Talbot to go with 9 rebounds, 7 assists to lead the way for the Lightning side that saw Alana Smith only have the 2 points, but Abby Werung stepped up with 16. Kylie Shook had 10 as well. Alison Downey, your thoughts?
Yeah, and look, both teams were quite rusty at the beginning, but you see that Adelaide grew as the game went on, and you know, they're playing the game that they want to play, and the talent they've got there. There's a reason why they're top of the table, as I said before. Sydney have a long way to go, but I think that they need to take some positives out of the game. It's there. They've got Renaya Davis coming in. She's shown some signs of what she can do. So they just need to sort of come back together. You know, I like the full court press, but maybe that needs to be broken up a little bit, because it's fatiguing as well to be playing full court defense essentially the whole game on an inexperienced team. That's hard.
Let's have a look at some of these stats. That field goal percentage was very low throughout the whole game. Just 25%. At one stage, they were shooting just above 40% from the charity stripe with the Flames. A 3-point percentage of 19, but they still put up the 31 shots. And then on the other side, 52, 40 and 50 for the Lightning. That seems to be, in a nutshell, statistically, Alison, it was just their lack of ability to finish Sydney that really cost them.
Yeah, and you know, if you look back at the game, their shots were hard. It was a lot harder, and you've said it, that Adelaide have such a great defence, so shots are always going to be hard, but they need to sort of try and counteract the defence and find those shots that work for them.
So the Lightning will enjoy that warm down. Pretty solid night at the office for the ladder leaders. And as we look ahead to what's coming up tomorrow, 5 o'clock, magnificent Bendigo Stadium, the Spirit up against the Fire. And then, in a big day of doubleheader action, head from Bendigo to Ballarat, UC Capitals coming off a big loss against the Perth Lynx, take on the Southside Flyers, the reigning premiers, who the Capitals beat a couple of years ago to get their 9th title. So plenty of exciting WNBL action to come. As we get a final thought from you, Alison Downey, if you're Shane Heal going in, first game in 29 days, winless in 4 games for the year, young Sydney Uni team, still trying to get their best side on the court, trouble getting their imports on the court. What's your message?
I think the message there is focusing on the positives. I think that they should be doing a review and looking at what worked and what worked really well. and focus on that throughout the week. It's still early in the season for them. They haven't played a lot of games, and so, you know, there's time for them to get together and become quite a cohesive group, but the ins and outs doesn't help. So I don't think that you could say they did anything wrong today. You know, they played a good game. Their effort was there. Offensive rebounds, phenomenal, 15 offensive rebounds. They're hard at it. They had their chances. They just couldn't finish. So you don't want to dishearten them there, and you want to find the good and focus on that.
Morgan Yeager having the 10 points, that's a real positive for them. I'm just trying to double check frantically if that's her first game for Sydney Uni this year, and I think it is, the former Lightning player. So that's a real positive for her and for them. And they'll have to dig into those, as you say, to continue to stay positive in this particular season, especially with COVID interrupting as it has been. It makes it just that little bit tougher on the players, especially when you're not winning. So we hope for their sake that a win is not too far away. They've got the Lynx on the 23rd at home, then they've got Bendigo, Canberra and the Southside Flyers. And for Adelaide, they've got Southside on the 23rd, Townsville on the 28th, then Canberra on the 30th and Bendigo on the 5th. 77-52 win. Lightning stay at the top of the ladder. Sydney Uni stay at the bottom of it. Thanks so much for your company, Alison Downey. Big thank you to you. Thanks to all the team behind us that do a magnificent job putting this broadcast together. Thanks to you for tuning in. Have a great night. Stay safe. It was the Lightning by 25 points over the Sydney Uni Flames in Sydney.